how to permanently lose 5 to 20 kilos without grueling workouts and eating the food you love. I know if that sounds a little bit unreal, I'm going to show you how to do it in this presentation, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So first of all, who is this actually for, okay? So if you're someone who's wanting a permanent solution to fat loss, okay, this is for you. If you're someone who's tried multiple diets and programs, but constantly gain the weight back after you lose it, this is for you. If you're sick of restrictive dieting and grueling exercise regimes, this is for you, okay? If your health is negatively impacting your life and you want to gain back control of that, okay? It's also for you if you're lacking confidence, motivation, time, or you're just feeling down about your current situation. Or you're confused about all the conflicting information out there and you just don't know who to trust, okay? So before I get into to how this all works, I just want to show you some client results to show you some real life proof of this stuff actually does work when I'm teaching here, okay? So first of all, this is Renee, okay? So Renee's been working with me for just over 12 months now, and in that time she has lost 35 kilos. She's a single mum of three young children, all under the ages of 8, works a full-time job, okay? If she can do it, you can do it, okay? Next up, we have Andy. So Andy worked with me for 16 weeks leading up to her wedding, and in that time she lost 7 kilos, which is a massive amount on a petite little frame like hers. Again, she did this without grueling workouts and still being able to eat the food she loved. And next we have George. So George works 50 to 60 hours a week in one of London's busiest hospitals. He has 2 boys aged 8 and 10. And he lost 15 kilos working with me in 6 months. And what's really cool is he didn't even go to the gym or train or anything like that. He just achieved this purely through nutrition alone. So this goes to show you you don't even need to, obviously exercise fantastic, but I mean, if you get the nutrition side of things right, you don't even need to go to the gym. You can lose as much weight as you want, okay? Now, first of all, before I really get into it, I just want to tell you a little bit about me. So who is Nicholas Fedruso, okay? So first of all, I've been in the health and fitness industry now for 7 years. I've coached over 200 clients. I'm a dad of 2. It's my beautiful family there down the bottom, my partner and my children, Olive and Paddy. I'm a fat loss coach for parents. So as my time in the health and fitness industry, I've had many different roles. First started off as a PT in gyms where I worked with a wide variety of clients. I worked with people who wanted to get strong, people who wanted to rehabilitate, people who wanted to lose fat, all kinds of everyone. Right, and then I gradually over time moved into fat loss, and then specifically since I became a dad myself, that's where I've started working with parents specifically for fat loss, because it's what I'm passionate about, and I know the struggles that you're dealing with as a parent in trying to balance your career, in trying to balance being a mum or a dad, and then trying to find the time on the side of that to also get your health and fitness right. It's a big struggle, I completely understand. And then I love strength training, so I'm a strength enthusiast. So that photo of me on the bottom left-hand corner, that's from much stronger days where I lifted much heavier weights, but I still absolutely love strength training, going to the gym. It's something that I'm very passionate about, so that's what I like to do in my spare time. Okay, so I want to show you first of all the old way, and this is probably the way that you've tried to diet and lose fat in the past. So this is the old way, okay? And this way does not work, at least in the long term. So the old way and this is what you've probably done, is restrictive diets. You've starved yourself to lose fat. You've been afraid of eating certain foods, okay? You've done endless cardio and grueling workouts in an attempt to lose fat. You've probably tried 8-week challenges, okay? You've probably avoided social events when you tried to lose fat. You've been confused by all the conflicting information out there. You don't know where to start. You've tried expensive supplements that don't work, and you've spent hours in the kitchen prepping your meals. I'm here to show you a new way where you don't have to do any of that, and you can lose all the fat you want and keep it off for good. So here's the new way, okay? The new way is you being able to eat all your favorite foods and still lose all the fat you want, okay? To lose fat without going hungry all the time, to have zero guilt about enjoying the food you love, you only need to do 20 minutes of exercise 3 to 4 times a week. A permanent lifestyle change, so instead of like getting fit for 8 weeks or getting fit for a summer, this is all about a permanent lifestyle change. To be able to socialize without the fear of gaining weight, to be able to eat out, go to social events without the fear of putting back on the weight you lost. Learning how fat loss actually works. Being able to eat quick, easy, and delicious meals the whole family love, and having real food, not living off supplements, herbal teas, and shakes, whatever, right? We definitely don't want that stuff here. Okay, so I've cracked the code here. I've cracked the code. So this is the model. I'm going to show you the model that I developed working with over 200 clients specifically. And this is not something that I just made up off the top of my head. This has been developed working with over 200 clients, and this is the method that I've found works best. Okay, so let's get into it. So it is called the Fat Loss Forever method. Okay. Now this method is a triangle because there's going to be 3 main pillars of this method. 3 main things that make up this triangle to make up the Fat Loss Forever method. These are really the 3 things that I've seen everyone need to permanently get the weight off. So everyone that's in my program, they have these 3 things because this is what I've found to be the 3 things to work to get this weight off. Okay, so let's get into these 3 things. What are they? First one is sustainable nutrition and fitness. You absolutely need sustainable nutrition and fitness. Okay, so what happens is, okay, and this is what most people do when they try and lose fat, and you've probably tried this yourself, is you cut out all your favorite foods, okay, when you try and lose fat. You eat the same boring foods on repeat, and you smash yourself in the gym, okay? But then what happens is you can't stick to it to any more than a couple of weeks, right? And then you end up blaming motivation. You say, I need to be more motivated, okay? I'm here to let you know that more motivation isn't what you need here. You need something that's sustainable. If I said to you right now, I can 100% get this fat off your body forever, okay? You'll have all the energy in the world, you'll be confident, you'll be strong, you'll be healthy, whatever. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to eat nothing but chicken and broccoli for the rest of your life and bust your ass in the gym 7 days a week, okay? Is that something you could do? To be able to lose this fat forever, have all the energy, confident, strong, whatever, healthy? Could you eat nothing but chicken and broccoli for the rest of your life and train 7 days a week, busting your ass in the gym, okay? I know that chicken and broccoli probably looks pretty good for 1 meal. I'm telling you now, for the rest of your life, it's not gonna work, okay? So the answer really is no, right? You're not gonna be able to keep that up permanently, okay? The reason why is it's not sustainable. Now, instead of doing that, of eating the same foods on repeat and busting your ass in the gym every single day, imagine on this fat loss journey if you got to eat whatever you want, right? These are actual foods that my photos of my meals that my clients have sent me, okay? You can see down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's ice cream and berries. You can eat chocolate, you can eat ice cream and lose all the weight you want. You can eat whatever foods you want. Also imagine like you didn't have to eat the same boring foods on repeat all the time. Imagine you weren't sore for a week every time you went to the gym and you actually felt better afterwards. Imagine you actually enjoyed what you're doing, okay? Would you need motivation to stick to it? And the answer is no, okay? The reason why you don't need motivation is because you actually like what you're doing, and that's the key to sustainability here. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of your favorite TV show or movie, okay? Something that you could never get tired of, something you could watch all the time, whether that be, I don't know, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, whatever you like, whatever your favorite TV show or movie is, I want you to think about it. Now, do you need motivation to watch that? You don't, okay? And this is what I'm trying to get at here, and this is why people fail, is because they do stuff they don't like. And then they wonder why they can't stick to it for any more than a couple of weeks. On this fat loss journey, if you want to not only lose the fat and keep it off permanently, you have to be doing things that you find enjoyable. Because things that you find enjoyable are sustainable, And then with sustainability, that's how you can create a lifestyle change out of it. It's the only way that works long term. Is sustainable around nutrition, and fitness has to be something you enjoy, something you like. So that's the very first pillar, is sustainable fitness and nutrition. That's what you need to be able to get this weight off, okay? Now, the second pillar you need, or the second thing you need, is you need a driving instructor. I'm gonna make this make sense in a minute, okay? Now, with a driving instructor, I want you to imagine you've never drove a car before. Imagine like you're a 12-year-old, right? You've never drove a car before, you don't understand any of the road rules, you don't know which side of the road to drive on, you don't know who you need to give way to, you don't know when to indicate or what any of the signs mean, right? It'd be a disaster. You'd probably get in a car crash. Okay, so when you learned how to drive, or when you wanted to go get your driver's license, before that you went and seen a driving instructor to learn the road rules properly. Okay, now in the same way that you need to learn the road rules to drive safely on the road, you also need to learn the rules for fat loss to be able to lose it and keep it off. So we go to school, university, attend courses, get certifications, because we understand that we need to learn skills. Now, fat loss is no different. Fat loss is still a skill. If you want to be a doctor, right, you have to learn all the systems of the body, right? And for you to learn that, you go to university and get a medical degree. If you want to be a farmer who grows crops, you have to learn what soil to use, how much water, what time of the year to plant, when to harvest. That information is usually going to be passed down from generation to generation. But everyone wants to lose fat without actually going to the school of fat loss, okay? And if you want to lose fat, you need to understand how this works. It isn't just cut carbs or eat healthy. And if you can't explain it in under 10 words, you don't know how it works. So what you need here is you need a driving instructor. You need someone to teach you when to hit the gas, when to brake, how to change gears, how to check your blind spots, the road rules, and how to get to your destination, okay? So that's the second thing you need, is you need a driving instructor, okay? Pillar number 2. Now, pillar number 3 is you need the big rocks, okay? Now, I've got a little quiz for you, so this will start to make sense, all right? Now, what I want you to imagine here is, I want you to imagine you have a jar, you have rocks, you have pebbles, and you have sand, okay? Now, this is the quiz. Your job is to fit all these items into the jar. So you need to fit the rocks, the pebbles, the sand, all into the jar, okay? What order do you put the items in to make sure they all fit, okay? I'll give you 15 seconds to think about this. You've got a jar, you need to put these large rocks, pebbles, and sand in, okay? You need to make them all fit. What order do you put them in? Do you put the sand first, then the rocks and the pebbles? Do you put the pebbles, the sand, and the rocks? Like, what order do you put them in to make sure it fits? 5 more seconds. This is going to relate back to weight loss. It'll all make sense, okay? Well, first of all, we'll start with the right answer. First of all, you need to put the big rocks in, okay? You put the biggest thing in first. Then, what you do from there is you put the pebbles in. You put the pebbles in around the big rocks. And then once you've got the pebbles in, you sprinkle the sand in around the pebbles, okay? Now, this is where it'll start to make sense. For fat loss, okay, I want you to think of the rocks, the big rocks that drive 95% of the results, okay? So you wouldn't do this when you're filling up the jar. You wouldn't put the sand in first, because if you put the sand in first, then you wouldn't be able to fit the pebbles or the big rocks. Or you wouldn't put the pebbles in, because then you wouldn't be able to fit the big rocks. So you always start with the biggest thing first. So with fat loss, as I said, the big rocks are the things that matter the most, the 95%ers, the stuff that actually drives results. The pebbles are the 1%, the stuff that makes a little bit of difference, but not much. And the sand is the stuff that makes no difference, okay? So big rocks, what drives results, pebbles make a little bit of difference, but not much. Sand makes none. What most people do when they try and lose fat is they try and do a million different things. They drink 2 liters of water, they do fasted cardio, they meditate, they journal, they take their supplements, they cut carbs, they eat their veggies, The list goes on, right? Now, what they end up doing here is they end up filling up their jar with sand and pebbles, the stuff that doesn't actually really drive results. But then because they've filled up their jar full of sand and pebbles, they got no room left for the big rocks. The big rocks is the stuff that actually matters. So this could be you, right? You're working hard and doing lots of different things, but you're seeing no results. The reason why you're seeing no results is because you're focusing on the sand and pebbles, the stuff that didn't matter. If you just put the big rocks in first over everything else, you get more results in less time with less effort. And the way I want you to think about this is the equivalent of rowing downstream versus rowing upstream, okay? Let's say you're rowing downstream. You're just casually rowing, it's all good, you're not using much energy, right? And there's plenty, you're moving along pretty quickly. Versus you trying to row upstream, you're working your ass off and you're not really getting anywhere. That's the difference. When you're focusing on the big rocks, the basics, the stuff that actually drive results, it's like paddling downstream. When you're just focused on all the little pebbles and sand and crap like that doesn't matter, it's equivalent of upstream. You're putting in a shitload of work, but you're not really getting anywhere. Okay? So those are the three pillars. Pretty simple, right? These are the three things you need to, that I've seen everyone needs to be able to get the fat off for good. They need to be able to, sorry, my screen just flicked off for a second. They need sustainable nutrition. So they need something that they find enjoyable that they can do for the rest of their life. Because this isn't just an 8-week challenge or an 8-week quick fix. This is a permanent lifestyle change. Number 2 is driving instructor. They need to, basically what a driving instructor means is they need to learn it. Okay? Whether that be through a course, a coach, a mentor, whatever, they need to actually understand how fat loss and nutrition works. Okay? And then the third thing is the big rocks. You need to focus on the basics, the things that actually drive results, not all the little minutiae that doesn't actually really matter at all. Okay? So if you found this, if what I shared with you resonated with you, and you feel like this method could work for you, and you're intrigued to know more about how it can help you permanently lose 5 to 20 kilos without grueling workouts and eating the foods you love, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you to find me on Instagram and DM me Fat Loss Forever. That way I know you've come from this video specifically, and we can have a quick convo to see if I could potentially help you out. If we can talk about that in a bit more detail. And if I can't, I can point you in the right direction. Either way, zero pressure from me. Hope you found this valuable wherever you're at on your fat loss journey. But if you're ready to go further, faster, what I invite you to do is reach out to find out more info. If you aren't ready as well, that's totally cool. Keep following along. I'd love to be able to help you out in any way I can, okay?